Hello and welcome to Women's World on OSLC Television. My name is Jane Aino. Today on the program, we will be discussing love, sex, and marriage. I'll be right back. Don't go away. Love, sex, and marriage can be compared to a car, gasoline, and a driver. They are inseparable. Some people believe that when their partner do not satisfy their sexual desire, they have transferred their love to another person. But it will amaze you to know that it is possible to love someone you are not sexually attracted to, and it's possible for you to be sexually attracted to someone you do not love. Meanwhile, people's sex drive differs, as some people, their sex drive remains active for the rest of their life, while some people, their sex drive reduces as they advance in age. But it is paramount in every marriage for their sex and love life to be active. So today on the program, I have a marriage counselor, Mrs. Afeni Oluwatosin, on the program to discuss this. Welcome on the program, madam.
Thank you very much.
Now, in your own view, what really keeps marriage?
Well, I would say two things. The first is love, and the other one is understanding. So where there is love and there is understanding, the marriage will keep going on years without end. That's what I believe.
Okay, you mean when there is love and understanding between the couples?
Yeah, between the two people.
What do they have to understand about each other, basically?
They have to understand, they have to understand their nature. We have different kind of nature. We have some people that are melancholy, they are quiet. Some people, they are outspoken. Some people are outgoing.
Okay.
You have to actually understand the nature of your spouse, what that person likes, what that person doesn't like, how he or she wants to run his or her things. So basically, those are the things you need to understand. You need to understand that person's character, behavior. Just basically, those are the things you need to understand. When you can understand those things, you know how to relate better with that person. So it makes it easy for the marriage to continue. That is it. Basically, you understand everything about that person, because your reason for coming together is actually to become one, is actually to live together. And two people can't live together when they don't understand themselves.
But a lot of marriages face this difficulty understanding themselves and research has it that it is actually because of the fact that they grew up from different backgrounds.
Yes.
Some who grew up from a very different background, the kind of belief, culture they have in their own home or family is different from his or her partner, and then it poses a lot of problem. It takes a lot of time. What's your thought on this?
Yes, it's true. The two people who are getting married are coming from different backgrounds. So that's why I said you just have to understand the way the other person grew up. Understand the things that person believes. When you get that, you begin to compare with yours, and you begin to adopt certain things from that person. And then the other person begins to adopt certain things from you as well. So you make the two balance together. Do you get it?
I understand.
So you adopt from each other.
At some point, everyone wants to get married.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone are so eager. There's a stage you get to in life, you feel it is normal and compulsory for you to settle down. Shouldn't there be a place where you learn how to stay in marriage? Because oftentimes you realize that mothers or parents basically don't have a time they sit their words down to tell them, oh, this is how marriage is either they learn from what they see their parents do,
okay,
or they just learn it when they are married.
The first best place is the home. So if a child that is growing up doesn't have a good model right from beginning, it's going to pose a problem. So let's put aside the fact that there's no good model for a home. So the next best place will be books. You have to read books. Marriage is something that people don't study for. They think it's just normal, we'll do it. We'll get married and we work together and everything will be fine. But I encourage people to read books. For example, what I and my husband do is when people are getting married, we give them books
to read. And do you
give
think
them
they
books
read
to
those
read.
books? Because we do not have reading culture in Nigeria. Do you
I
agree?
understand. Some people do read, but we encourage people to read because there are so many things that people won't have time to tell you everything. So you just have to read those things on your own. It's going to actually help you. For those who read those books, they come back and I learned a lot and I'm applying those things, and their marriage is getting better. You get it. So for those who don't read, we also have seminars. There are a lot of marriage seminars that go on in town.
But will you agree with me if I say that even though they have learned from the experience they read in books,
okay,
it may differ from what they are going to experience. People have several experiences, several stories to life.
I understand, but that's why I said for alternatives, you can attend a seminar. When you attend a seminar, you can ask questions, practical questions that boil down to your personal life.
Okay.
You understand? And then you can get answers. Or you can meet people that are actually, into counseling. You can share your personal, your personal thoughts, your personal challenges with them, and they can put you through, the things that you need to do. So those are the avenues I think that people should use. They need to actually understand so many things about marriage. You don't just jump into marriage. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So.
Let's talk about love.
Okay.
Do you think love is enough to sustain a home? Do you think that love is just enough to do to make a home, stay forever?
Okay. I would say love is enough. And the reason why I say love is enough is everything starts from love and everything ends with love. We can talk about, other things that can make a home run smoothly. But once there is love, because a lot of people who say I love you, they don't know what they mean by saying I love you. When you're saying I love you, you're saying I'm going to make myself inconvenient for you. I'm going to be there for you whether it's okay, whether I'm convenient or not. I'm going to sacrifice for you. Are you getting that? So love is just a 4-letter word, but it's so big, it's so wide.
Wow.
So when you have love, every other thing is covered. There will be nothing too difficult for you to do for your partner. There will be nothing too difficult for you to bear with your partner. Do you get it? So that's what I think. I think love is enough.
I'm happy with the fact that you said love is very, very wide, because people have different understanding of the word love. Some people believe that when someone is sexually attracted to them, or someone desires to always have sex with them, the person actually loves them. While some believe that, have other notions about what love is meant to be. Now, handling a partner who sees a different picture of love from yours, how do you handle such situation?
Well, that's why one of the things I'll say is, when you're in your relationship, before you go into marriage, these are the things you talk about. Do you get it? What does that person understand as love? What do you understand as love? Because in your relationship, you have to find a common ground. Because if both of you don't find a common ground to your belief systems, it's going to affect the marriage.
Definitely.
Do you get it? So when you find yourself in such a situation, the best thing to do is find that person's view, find your own view, and try to create a balance. That what can we do to actually balance the two? It's going to be between the two people. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Understand.
Nobody can actually, no matter the counseling, it's going to be between the two of them. What do we think is love? What should we say is love? So you have to both decide what you're going to pick. Either I'm going to follow your belief system, or you're going to follow mine, or we're going to pick from this, and then we'll merge it together. That's just what they're going to do.
Some school of thought believe that abstinence before marriage is ultimate, absolute, good.
Okay.
Now, how do you know someone you have never? How will you determine your sexual compatibility if you have abstained from sex before marriage?
Well, we hear this kind of question a lot. See, when you talk about sexual compatibility, I do tell people, I say, until you get into the marriage and you start having sex, before you are able to say you are sexually compatible or not. I ask them, what do you actually mean by that word compatibility?
Okay.
Because sex is about both of you finding out what pleases each of you. Do you get it? You have to find out, okay, you are my husband. What can I do to please you sexually?
Is marriage an appropriate place to find out that?
Yes, it is the most appropriate place to find out.
And if you discover that that person or your partner, eventually, you are not sexually compatible,
That's
How
what
do
I'm
you
saying. That's
solve
what I'm
a
saying.
problem?
That word, people just use the word. There are certain words that people use that just, they just use it in a way just to try to create an escape from their marriage. I say we are not sexually compatible. To me, I don't believe there's anything like that. What is important is you finding what pleases each of you. And then as a man, you're able to do those things that please your wife sexually.
And what if you are not able to do that? For instance, let me give you an instance.
Okay.
We have low libido, high libido. We have
Okay.
people who have no control for their libido.
Okay.
Now, if you live with a partner who his or her libido is very, very much on the high side, while yours is very low, how will you manage such home without infidelity?
Well, what I'll say
Because
is,
if you don't get your desire from your partner, you tend to move out, and it poses a lot of problems.
that's why I said when you talk about love, love is sacrifice.
Okay.
When you've made up your mind that you love this person, you're going to get married to this person, you're just saying, I'm giving my totality to you. Whether it's convenient for me, whether it's not convenient for me. Are you getting what I'm trying to say here? Because, let's say the husband is the one who is on the high side with a high libido, and then the wife has a low libido. You just have to work on it and improve to make things work. Probably see a doctor.
Really?
Yeah.
What will a doctor do in that situation?
You just have to. There are so many things that you can do to improve your libido that is, healthy now. Not just, any drug. There are sexual enhancement drugs that you can take to help improve your libido. You understand? You can study your cycle, your body system. There are a lot of things. You sit down with your man and you explain that this is what is actually happening. That's why I said understanding is very important. So if that spouse has a high libido and yours is low, and there is understanding between the two of you, there is nothing that person will not be able to sacrifice for you. The person will wait and be patient with you, until things begin to improve and change.
Do you agree it's a problem?
I didn't get you.
Do you agree that this is a problem?
I understand this. That's why I said, from your very first question, I said love and understanding. When you can understand what is happening, with your spouse and within yourself, there's a way you can create a balance. But it's when, somebody is kind of selfish and you're like, okay, because you can't give me sex as often as I want it, then I'll go elsewhere. Then you don't love that person. Because inside of love is also patience.
Okay, if you had to break it down for me, what keeps marriage healthy?
Well, I would say self-control. I would say self-control because just like
just self-control.
Yeah, self-control.
Alone.
I would say self-control. There are a lot of other things.
Okay.
I'll say self-control because I'll prefer the word self-control because when you have self-control, you tend to be disciplined. There are certain things you just would not do for the sake of the other person. Are you getting what I'm saying? Like it's definitely sure that you're going to get hurt in marriage because both of you come from different backgrounds. You're trying to blend together. It's just like I heard this proverb about the tongue and the mouth and the teeth. There's no way you chew, the teeth will bite the tongue. Kind of. If you understand what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So there's no way two of you can stay together and you won't offend each other. You offend each other, but you find a way to control yourself. It's very important. We hear of battery where battering, where the husband is battering the wife or the wife is the one battering the husband. Where there's self-control.
But it's not common to have women batter their men.
It's not common, but it's going on. In such aspects, we don't really hear much, but we hear because of the percentage.
Okay, it's
because
higher.
It's higher on the side of the men to the women. Yes. So it's just basically you just need to have self-control.
It is generally
find it easy. You learn forgiveness. You learn forgiveness. Forgiveness to me is purposeful. You just have to be purposeful. That person is not perfect. When you understand that, you will run a healthy marriage. You know that this person can't have it all. This person can't do it all. But for those lapses, I choose to forgive you even ahead of time, ahead of the offenses you commit. You feel hurt, but you say, but for the fact that I love you, I just choose to overlook all these weaknesses and just go on. You don't bring back all the past experiences like some people have. They have a record of offenses, and by the time it gets to a peak, you won't be able to control. You just burst open,
Yeah,
and then you
exactly.
scatter the whole thing.
That's why I will ask you this. Nobody's a monopoly of temper. We all have our level of temperament and how much we can take and bear. In a difficult communication level between you and your partner,
Okay.
let me give an instance. You have your partner who is always doing a thing for you over and over again, and you keep communicating to this person that this thing, I do not want it, but the person persists and keeps doing it. And then the communication level reduces to 0 level because the person is not listening to you anymore. What's your thought on this? What do you think can solve such issue in a
Well,
marriage?
I'll say when two people are getting married, it's not just going to be the both of you in that marriage. I believe that you should have someone you can talk to about your spouse, someone your spouse respects so much, someone that your spouse will see, and the person, you just can't but obey that person. That's the reason why before you get married, these are the things you should know. So when you have a case like that, you've tried on your own, and you're not getting anywhere.
Results.
So you move ahead and talk to such a person that these are the things
You're going through.
I'm going through, and then that person can come in and help.
And
you-
what if that still didn't work? Some
Well-
people can be very difficult.
I understand that some people can be very difficult, but one thing I know is, I tell people, I say, if there's, let's say for example, there's something you want your spouse to do and that person is not doing it, you can go ahead and do it by yourself. You lead that person by example. You do it by yourself. Keep doing it by yourself and keep hoping that one day it's going to change. And I tell you, definitely you see a change.
What if there's
I
never a
believe
change?
so. It's going to. I'm not talking about when when there's battering now. It's different. I guess what I'm saying. When
Okay.
there's battering, it's different. I wouldn't encourage you to stay in that place. You can move out, take some time. Some people can intervene. Try to rectify the situation. But if the situation goes beyond what can be rectified, then you both can decide what you want to do at that point. Whether to leave the marriage, you understand? You can decide to leave the marriage if it's not going to work. But I believe that at least before it gets to that point, you can be patient. What you're telling that person, change your styles of telling the person.
Okay, that leads to the battering.
No, I'm not talking about battering now. I'm just giving an example that if it's a case of battering, you may have to eventually leave the marriage.
Okay.
Maybe if you separate for some time, some people intervene, and then the other partner who is battering still wants the marriage to continue, then you can still give it a try. But by the time, if it's not working, you both can leave the marriage. If it's not working, you can separate. Do you get that?
Now, raising children in marriages.
Okay.
Do you see it as a factor or a problem in a home? Because I'm saying this because a lot of women tend to shift the love they have for their children and for their husband to their children, or do not give their husband the attention they usually before they started raising kids. Okay. So, and this has really posed a lot of problem in so many homes. Majorly on the side of the men, they complain about their wife not giving them all the attentions and the love they need. Sometimes, even the men shift the attention and love their wife needs to the children. Do you see this as a factor? What's your thought on this?
Well, mostly it's the women who have that problem, because the woman is in charge of the home. The woman is in charge of the home, and she runs here and there. And at the end of the day, she's tired. She's just worn out, and then the man is complaining that she doesn't have time for me. And then the woman is like, "Can't you see I'm raising the children? I'm doing a lot." But like I said, understanding is very important. If that man can be helpful in helping in raising the children, doing some things, the woman won't be fagged out. She won't be exhausted at the end of the whole day. Then both of them can also create time to talk. You can give the children the day, give your work the day. If it's an hour in the night, you both can sit down, be refreshed from what you have done throughout the whole day. You talk, you do, that's the time, you give to yourselves. But I don't see raising children as a problem. I don't see raising children as a problem. So I will encourage that women don't give all their love to the children. You knew the man first. Yes. And by the time the children will leave, it's going to be you and the man.
And that's very
So
true.
you find a way to divide your time. That's why I said, you are raising children, give them your daytime. Let's say till 7 p.m. You go to bed, they do their stuffs, and then after 7 p.m. you have your time with your husband.
But seriously, how easy is it to balance raising your children and then loving your man right?
That's why I said the
How can you
man
place
the
a
man has a
balance?
role to play. When all the work of raising children is not given to the woman alone, then she will have time for him. But if she does everything, then she won't have the time for you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So the man has to help. It depends on the kind of work that the woman is doing. No matter the kind of work, the man should still help. So if the man can help, then I think he will enjoy her more. There was a research I read some time ago that the man that helps with housework is less likely to have a heart attack, and is the one who's going to enjoy the sexual benefits that come out of it. Okay. So let's say you can enjoy your sex life in the night. Okay. During the day you're so busy, everybody's busy. Just create that time. That's why I said even if it's 30 minutes to 1 hour, it's a time that is a passing phase. The children will get to a certain age that they can take care of themselves. So the woman's work will be reducing by the day.
In conclusion now, I know you host monthly program for singles and married.
Yes.
Now let's focus on married.
Okay.
How far have you been able to solve the problems in so many homes today, talking about love, sex, and the likes that brings about broken homes?
Well, from the little people that we've talked to, because I do it, my husband also does. So from those people we've talked to, we've been able to help them to see that they need to understand the person they're dealing with. That's the basic point. When you understand that person, then you find a way to apply yourself. So we've been able to get a considerable success by telling them that when you have understanding, you say you love, have understanding and be patient. So when you combine understanding and patience with the love you have a good home.
Mrs. Afeni Oluwatosin, a marriage counselor, has been my guest in the studio today, and we've been taking a good look at love, sex, and marriage. Thank you for coming on the program.
You're welcome, ma.
That's the size of our program for today. Thanks for being part of it. Let's do this again, same time, same station, for another beautiful edition of Women's World on OSRC Television. My name is Jane Aino, and bye for now.